Hello friends, and welcome to Gardening with Creekside. Today we are going to spend a little bit of time up here at the entrance to the nursery. We are going to plant the mailbox flower bed because Jackson was kind enough to go ahead and take out the lantana and the avovulus for me this past weekend. So you can see that that flower bed is completely empty. I have got some gorgeous violas that we are going to plant in there, and then we're going to do a little bit of work in the sign bed. I do have my great helper with me, and of course my cheerleader down here, as always, is my little furry companion. So while I am working on the flower bed, Jackson's going to come in here and he is going to go ahead and remove the last of the annuals that are in here. We are going to hit down into the mid 30s this week, and it is much easier to take these plants out before they freeze, especially the impatiens. They will turn to absolute mush. So he's going to come in here and take out the Rocapucos. I know they're still blooming, but trust me, it's much easier to take them out before they turn to absolute smush and slime and grossness. So the Rocapucos are going to come out. They've done fantastic, y'all. It is the middle of November and they are still going strong. I love it. And then, like I said, we've got a little bit of the Endless Illumination Broalia. It's going to take that out for me. And then the new Mini-Me Chartreuse Coleus. Y'all are going to love this new introduction. It is coming out in 2025. We will have it available, of course, both here at the nursery and online. So pre-orders are going to start very, very soon. So if you are not signed up for our emails or text messaging, you need to do that. I will have a link for you because the pre-orders for next spring are going to start quickly, and so you want to go ahead and grab these new introductions like that Mini-Me Chartreuse. So that was just a little side note. So what we're going to do is I have got the John Deere here full of all of my supplies. Since we are starting with a naked bed, as I say, right? She is completely naked. There's nothing in there. Everything is gone. So what I'm going to do is I have 5 bags of the black gold. This is the natural and organic ultra outdoor planting mix. That is a very long name. This is what I used at the chicken coop when I planted the violas and the mustards and all the things, the snapdragons, and those plants, y'all, are stunning. They're gorgeous. So I've got 5 bags. We're gonna lay this down in the mailbox bed. I always highly recommend to you, from one gardener to the next, if you have areas in your garden that traditionally always are annuals, like this mailbox bed, you want to amend that soil, amend, because great organic matter, whether it's a compost or if it's like this ultra outdoor planting mix, whatever that is, great rich organic matter, when you put that in your annual beds, that is food for your plants. We want to build up our soil as much as we can, because if you've got great soil, man, you are going to eliminate a ton of problems. And so I'm not really going to have to feed these plants at all with like a synthetic fertilizer, because they're going to have this great natural food available to them. So every time when we have an annual bed and we change them out for the season, which is twice, right? So we do it for the fall, winter, and then the spring, summer ones, we always add back more organic material. It makes a massive difference. Plus, I love this because it tends to hold water a little bit more, holds the moisture a little bit more, not crazy soggy, but it does hold it. And so that helps me with watering, especially like in a space like this where there's no water in sight. We're keeping it really simple, my sweet friends. We are going to put down some Dusty Miller, some Artemisia. This is New Look. These are what we call 1801s, meaning that there's 18 plants in a flat. Not too massive, very, very manageable, very doable. And so we are going to put those in, and then look at those beauties, y'all. Are they not just the sweetest little violas you ever did see? So this is a great mix of some creams and some yellows and some blues. Like, they're just so stinking cute, aren't they? This is, I know you're going to ask for a name. I will try to find the tag and I will tell you what the name is. Of course, we will use our Biotone put that down so that way they have a great root system and can start out really, really strong. And then I've got my tools with me. I've got my kneeling pad to save my knees, and really right now not as far as, like, yes, it'll be comfortable, but the ground is wet and I don't want to have wet knees on this cool November day. So that is keeps me dry. So that's why we have that. And then of course gloves, always have gloves. I've got my rake, I've got my trowels, if there's weeds in here, I've got all of that stuff that I need. So what we're gonna do is keep it really simple, my friends. That is my motto in the fall winter garden, is keep it simple, sweetie. It does not have to be complicated to be gorgeous, right? So I'm going to keep things very kind of natural. I'm first going to put down my Ultra Outdoor Planting Mix, spread that out. Then I'm going to put the Biotone all over. I'm just going to spread it over the whole entire bed instead of doing the individual holes. Just spread it all over everywhere. And then I'm going to go ahead and place everything. I'm going to take the Artemisia and I'm just going to randomly put it throughout the bed. I want to kind of keep that random, just very kind of easy peasy look to it. Place that out first, and then I'm gonna go back with the violas and place them all in between. The Artemisia is gonna get to be about 10 inches tall, and that'll happen really in the spring, right? So that'll give you about 10 inches tall. Your violas are in that like 6 to 7 inch range, and that way we'll have like the Artemisia kind of popping out, the silver amongst all the blues and the creams and the yellows. So I'm gonna work on that. Jackson's gonna work on cleaning up my bed, and then I'll meet you back here in a second and we're gonna go over everything, and I'm probably gonna go ahead and start pruning back some of my perennials in that bed. And so I'm going to show you exactly how to prune back any perennials that may be needing a little attention this time of year. All right, my friends, so as easy as that, the flower bed has been planted, and I do adore it. It is to me, it's just a very lovely, like wintry mix. Does that Artemisia not just like pop out with that gorgeous silver foliage on it? I adore it. And then of course the violas. Violas to me are just so cheery and so happy. We actually had 2 different kinds of violas. I didn't realize that until I started pulling the tags out. This is the penny purple picotee, which is just lovely, lovely cream with that little purple on the edge. And so we have those in there, and then the yellows and the creams and the blues, that is what's called winter mix. So they play really nicely with each other, and I love it. So I very randomly put the Artemisia in. I did that first, got those planted first. I really just kind of wanted to spread all of those out, and so kind of evenly spread out. And then basically whatever violas I had, then I went ahead and just filled in. But yeah, so definitely the flower bed looks different in the summer versus the winter as far as like structure. In the summertime, I can get some really good height in this bed. Wintertime, it is nice and low profile, definitely more low and mounded, but I think it's great. I think it's really sweet. And you know, like I said, that silver bullet, no, this is New Look. The New Look Artemisia just stands out. Now, for those of you that are in cooler climates, just a reminder that pansies and violas for us in the South, I can plant them now here in November. I could even have planted them, some of them maybe like end of September, and they will go all through the fall, winter, and into the spring. So when I come in here in the spring, that'll probably be like early, mid-April. One, the flower bed will be completely covered because they will have grown that much, and so we will have complete total coverage of the plants. And two, I will need to go ahead and take those out because pansies and violas are cool weather annuals. They love these cool temperatures. Violas tend to do better as far as blooming during the colder months, so January, February. Sometimes the pansies they'll kind of check out and they're like, okay, it's too cold. They're not dead, but they just won't be blooming very much. And then when it warms up a little bit, then they start blooming again. Violas tend to bloom longer in those colder and even in the warmer months. So I will pull all of this out in that mid-April so that I can get my summer annuals in here. So that's maybe that's different for you if you're in a colder zone, that you plant your violas and pansies in the spring. Well, that's because you're much cooler than what we are in our spring. So that's a benefit for us of living in the South, is that we get to have these really sweet little flowers all through the fall and the winter. So I did not water this. I am not going to water this because tomorrow is going to be it's going to be a lovely miserable day. The high tomorrow I think is like 46, 47, the high. Remember, I live in North Carolina, so I'm a little tender on these temperatures. It's gonna be like 46, 47 degrees, and it's gonna rain all day. So I've told everybody, I was like, do not come a-calling on Jenny. She will be in the house doing housework in her comfy clothes, all warm and snuggly, and I am not stepping foot outside tomorrow because that's just gonna be a yucky day. I say all that is because I don't need to water these because it's going to rain all day tomorrow. So we don't need to worry about watering it, and that soil is already nice and damp. The plants were damp. There was one or two little violas that were a little dry, but other than that, they are just fine. Another great benefit of doing the pansies and the violas, especially in like these like really cool like blue colors, your pollinators love them. Your little honeybees love these plants, and they're really attracted to that light blue. So yay for me on that. Now, I think I said that I might come in here and trim some perennials back. I'm just going to be honest, y'all. I just don't feel like it. This is going to be a different, another day's problem, not today's problem. And it is perfectly fine. I mean, getting just you can see we still have some little debris here, some litter from the blooms of the Rocapucos. But yeah, I mean, so I'm just not going to do it. And there really wasn't that much to do anyway. The only thing that I really could have done is if I wanted to go ahead and cut down my hostas, I could. So you can come in here and literally just chop them to the ground. Hostas will, die back completely in that freeze. It will, quote, disappear in the winter time, and the roots are still there, and so they're great. So don't worry about that. I do want to show you a couple of things, some fun things that are happening. One, so we have, this is a Let's Dance. Oh gosh, I don't know if this is a Reba. I can't remember which one this one is, but y'all look. Here we are, mid-November, and she is putting out blooms. Is that not great? So those Let's Dance hydrangeas, so many of them, if not all of them, bloom both. They're reblooming hydrangeas. So they bloom on old growth and new growth. So you can see my flowers that were from the summer, right? So these were like just the old ones. So we have those, and then here we have one that was probably like a late summer bloom. And then here we have a brand new, very fresh, yes, she's tiny, but that's all right, a very sweet, rich pink. And so very excited about that. Those Let's Dance hydrangeas, my gosh, y'all, you need, if you don't have those, and you have, so they like to have, if you're in the colder zones, you can do the full sun, not a problem. Here in the south, not the full sun, especially the hot afternoon sun, they do not do well. So I would encourage you to have like morning sun, you know, up till lunchtime, filtered sun, that kind of thing. But they are reblooming, so they will bloom on old growth, new growth. I mean, there's tons of different ones. If you want to have a like a macrophylla like this, that has that great traditional hydrangea bloom on it, or if you want to do a serrata that has the mountain hydrangeas that have the, well, those would be tough stuff. I think there might be, let's see. I'm getting all my hydrangeas mixed up, but I'm pretty sure that there was some serratas in the Let's Dance series. I could be wrong on that, but they're all reblooming, so it's great. So you get new blooms, old blooms, and they're doing great. Camellias. We are in North Carolina, right? And we have got camellias blooming. So this bed, y'all, the leaf litter is thick. In both of these beds, like it will be massive because we have so many oak trees right here. Predominantly, all of these are oak. There might be a poplar here or there or a maple, but in this particular little location where we are, in this garden, most of these are going to be oak trees. And so it gets super thick in here, so coming through. But yes, look at the camellias. I love it. Obviously, these are going to be the ones that are blooming now are sasanquas, because sasanquas are fall bloomers. You'll know that because their little leaves are about the size of your thumb. So if you see a camellia and it's a thumbprint size, then that's a sasanqua. It's going to be blooming in the fall. Your japonicas will bloom, you know, later on in the winter time. So typically like January through March. And you know, I say this all the time that Jerry says I have the memory of a gnat. So I use my little plant markers right here, these little labels, these little copper labels. So this is Autumn Spirit, because I would never remember that. And there we go. Look at that. So sweet. So Autumn Spirit camellia has those really sweet red, like a rich pink. And then we're going to tiptoe down here. Now this, let me show you the difference. This is a japonica. So see how much bigger that leaf is? So japonicas, they have their buds. They are going to bloom in that January to March. So there you go. So I have a mix of them in here, but I want to come down. We're going to tiptoe through this garden bed down here. And I want to show you. This one is Autumn Moon, I want to believe. I want to say that's correct. I'll look at my tag again. But y'all, look at those gorgeous flowers. And this one's been blooming for a long time, like weeks. Look at that. Isn't that fantastic? All right, let's see. Oh, yep, there it is. There's my little tag, Autumn Moon. That's what I thought. So yeah, so this one I think is almost done blooming, but I don't see a ton of more buds on it. But like I said, she has been blooming for several weeks now and just had been absolutely covered. So I think this one's kind of getting to the end of her bloom cycle for this season, but absolutely love this one. And then we have more, like this is a japonica. So I try to like alternate japonicas and the sasanquas in here, so that way we could have a beautiful display of camellia flowers throughout the fall and winter. But I love it. With your camellias, y'all remember, they bloom on old growth. If you cannot prune your camellia, that would be perfect. We don't really want to prune camellias. Give them the room to let them get as big as they need to. But if you have to prune it, or you need to prune it, do after it blooms. So a great, safe way to think about pruning your camellias is in that like late March, early April. If you prune them then you'll have plenty of time for them to set out new flower buds for that fall. So if I were to prune, like looking at Autumn Moon right here, if I were to prune this one, see how we have these limbs right here? We just have a couple of them that are, and I would not even consider these rogue limbs, but if you wanted to keep it compact, then I would simply take this limb right here and maybe come back and cut it right there. That's it. You do not want to keep your camellias in little balls or little squares. They're meant to go ahead and give you all of that beautiful glossy evergreen foliage throughout the entire year. If you have, people want to know about like sun conditions, this is definitely filtered sun, right? So this is what this looks like. This is probably some of the most sun that this bed gets. It's, I don't know, lunchtime right now. In the afternoon, this is deep in the bed. In late afternoon in the summer, it may get an hour of some bright sun, but it is on irrigation and they are doing well. Some of them are doing better than others, but overall they're doing well. They've only been in the ground not even 2 years now. And so just read your plant tags when you're shopping for camellias. Look at those plant tags. If you want to order online, Camellia Forest is a great resource. And if you're in North Carolina or semi close by to that Raleigh area, then they have open houses several times throughout the year. That's where we got a bunch of these from. Mimi and I went together, and that was a dangerous, trip on that one, but so much fun. So Camellia Forest, they're predominantly an online store, and they'll ship it out to you, but you can visit during their open house days. But read your plant tags. Historically, camellias like filtered sun. Southern Living has some amazing ones that love the full sun, like those October Magic series. You've seen me plant multiples in there. I've got October Magic Rose, I've got October Magic Orchid, the white shishi, ruby. White shishi is getting ready to explode in flowers. It's going to be lovely. But yeah, as far as I'm concerned, I can never have too many camellias, and I will be adding camellias to my garden for years and years to come, because to me, that's just the quintessential Southern garden. It's just chock full of camellias and hydrangeas and a lot of other things, but camellias especially, and gardenias. We love those gardenias. All right, my friends, so it's been a lovely day. You can see that I am wearing a sweater and a down vest, and I have not even thought about getting hot and sweaty today. It's lovely. I love it. Y'all have an amazing day. Get out there, do something in your garden, right? Just a little something, unless you're in Colorado and you're getting covered up in snow already. And then I say, bless your heart, in the most tender, loving possible way I could even say that. Y'all come to North Carolina. Y'all come visit us in the South here in the winter. It's great. All right, y'all have a great day. See you in the next video. Bye, friends.